Good morning, Western Region and Canada. How are we doing? I'm sorry, how are we doing? Listen, I know that you guys are all wanting to talk and chat about all the really cool things you saw yesterday, but it's time to put your butts in the seats, okay? And we have to start on time because today is going to be an amazing day. You guys stay in this room all day, okay? Literally, we break for lunch, but you're not allowed out. Huh? Anyways, so you guys stay in this room, and we're actually having the speakers rotate in and out, okay? So it's really important that we, when we take the breaks at the end of each session, that we stick around close and we get back in our seats, okay? How many of you know who I am? Luigi. Okay. That is true, okay? My name is Roger Hill, and I am the Director of Sales for the Western Region. And today, Canada. How do we like that? You guys enjoying conference so far? Okay. I don't know if this is going to backfire on me or not because you guys in the Western Region seem to be a little bit late today. Maybe it's the time zone change. I don't know. But right next door is the Eastern Region. Do you guys want to let them know that we're here? Should we let them know? You guys, are you guys ready to do it? Okay? Because Kevin Crandall's over there, and I don't want you guys to make me look bad in front of Kevin. All right, so you guys want to do it? Okay, so how about on 3, we give a big Shackley, okay? A big Shackley on 3. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. That was impressive. Wow. Man, that was impressive. Let's do it one more time. You guys up for it one more time? Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. You guys are ready. I love it. I love it. Again, my name is Roger Hill. I'm the Director of Sales, and today only, I will allow you to call me Luigi. Okay? But after today, that has to stop. Okay? I know I look great in my costume. People asked me if I wore it to sleep last night. No, I did not. Okay? But anyways, it's a privilege and a pleasure to be with you here today. I know we got people that are going to be coming in and out. But we've got an amazing day. Yesterday, you saw some fantastic things. We're going to pull that all together today. Now, you will be in the room here today, like I said, and we're going to be rotating the speakers in and out, okay? This morning's topic is a fantastic topic. It's one of the ones that, it's really one of the 2 things that we do in this business. We share products, and we share the opportunity, okay? Those are the 2 fundamental basic things that we do in this business. And if you know that, okay, then you can have success in this business. So this morning's topic is share. You guys all have your guides, right? You see it? And we've got a wonderful group of people and presenters who are going to talk to you. I'm going to bring the first one up here. And it's somebody who actually lives close to me in the San Diego area. Someone who is a master coordinator. I've spent a lot of time with her, and I've gotten to know her over the last year and a half, and I can call her my friend. That's certainly true. So you're in for a real treat this morning. We have Master Coordinator Barb Hill Bihar. Come on up, Barb.
It's so awesome to have Roger down in our area. I call him up, and he comes and helps, and it's really great. He's really engaged in our whole area, and especially down in San Diego where I live. It's just, thank you, Roger, for all of that. Well, I was so excited when Elena called me and asked me if I would present this workshop on sharing, or what I call the Shackley presentation. There's Roger, there's me, and here we go to the first slide. Because one of my absolute favorite things to do in Shackley, and has been, I've been full-time now in Shackley for 17 years, has been to see the story of Shackley unfolding for a new person. Agree? I especially love it when they've never heard of it before, and I either meet with them individually or in a small group, and I begin to share the story in Shackley, and I watch the reactions, and from that point onward, so many of them really have their life changed forever. So while I say that inviting, when I teach my group, I always say inviting is your most important skill because you have to get someone in a position where they'll listen to you present. But the presentation is the magic wand. You start waving that wand when you start sharing the story of Shaklee, and things really begin to happen. What is a presentation? Well, I define a presentation as permission and a set time when you've received permission to share the story of Shaklee with someone. Permission is really important. I think that's an important part of learning about the presentation, which is really my first point. When you've set a time, whether it's on a webinar, or whether it's in a Starbucks, or whether it's in a casual setting or in a group, if someone has said, yes, this time is set apart, I know we're going to be talking about Shaklee, then you really have the opportunity to share the Shaklee story in a way that they are more receptive to it. So that's really an important point. We have so many awesome tools today. I encourage you to use the tools. The tools aren't necessarily the presentation, although they can be part of a presentation. I use mostly the tools to lead me to someone being willing to come to an event or give me an opportunity for a presentation. I use them to create interest in a prospect, to provide credibility about a product, or also after a presentation. I often leave these one of a tool, a CD, a DVD, a video, a brochure with them as homework until we meet the next time. It's just an example of a brand new tool that you're seeing introduced here. It's for the Shaklee Lean and Healthy. You'll have a chance to look at it. It's a great tool, and it's a wonderful tool that I think will help you in inviting people to learn more about Shaklee 180. So take an opportunity to look at it later. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, love the graphics, love the stories, love the information on there. And it's a helpful thing for you to be able to assist you around the presentation. We have all kinds of presentations. We have the Shaklee Opportunity Presentation, which is on the Shaklee Library. That actually happens to be my favorite. Yeah. I like that one because it leads me through, and I know when I finish, I will have given people the whole story. It's got a couple of other tools in it that I find really useful. That's one that you have. You can do the Shaklee Turnaround Party, the DVD. Maybe you love Get Clean and you're out to change every home in America. Have them use our cleaning products, or an Anfucel Beauty Hour, or nutrition. Choose your passion. Choose your passion. We have a lot of things to talk about, and I know that I just find I have certain things that I love in Shaklee, and when I talk about my own personal experience and my passion, it's really effective, isn't it? It really comes across. So let's just talk about what makes a presentation work. I'm just going to make 4 points today. I know you're getting a lot of information at this conference, so I don't want to overwhelm you, but like everything else in life, while there are a lot of variables with tools and individual ways to present and places to present, there are some principles that never change. And I hope you will just take these home with you, and I will promise you, like I do a new business leader when I work with them, if you will follow these principles, what I show you what to do, I will guarantee that you will get results. So it's, what do you include in a presentation? Learning how to listen and ask questions, telling the whole story, and then effectively closing. What is the whole story? The whole story includes your story, something about the Shaklee history and philosophy, something about the Shaklee business, lifestyle, and earning opportunity, and then an invitation to join with clear options so it's not confusing to people. I love to tell my story. I always start a presentation with it. Someone introduced us to Shaklee. We looked at it. We found out that everything they said was true. We brought all the Shaklee products into our home and completely changed our lifestyle. And he regained his health. And now for 30 years and 4 generations in my family, we've trusted Shaklee. My mom graduated from college a year ago at age 89. Took Shaklee supplements her whole life. Shaklee's helped me to be able to feel better and have energy. My children and my little grandchildren, they're healthy. Their little brains are getting the nutrients they need. And we have trusted Shaklee. And I went through my home about 3 months ago and counted all the Shaklee products that we use in our home, and there were 121 different products. So that's kind of my story that I share in a nutshell, and then I say, and I've loved the Shaklee business. I've been full-time for 17 years. I was a stockbroker with Smith Barney, and then I was a president in our window manufacturing. And I was looking for an opportunity to have something that gave me flexibility, passion in my work, and the opportunity to make at least $100,000 income and more. So within my story there, and I'll mention that again, I have encapsulated everything on this screen, haven't I? So sometimes we think we have to have a very fancy, many pages to tell the whole story. But if you learn to share the whole story in your story, that's comfortable, isn't it? I bet there's people in the room who just don't feel comfortable if it's more complicated and there's a lot more pages. But if you can really work on your story and have it short and have it be really dynamic and have it be inspiring, you've laid out in just a couple of minutes the Shaklee story for people. So I encourage you to make sure that you've got that story down and that it includes everything. Ask questions and listen. I have prejudged so many times. Do we not sometimes look at someone, we say, oh, they'd never be interested, right? Oh, they have a full-time job, or how many of you have prejudged people and do prejudge people? Have you ever found out you're wrong? I had a friend named Verna. She wanted to hear about Shaklee, and she was interested in Shaklee products. And I said, Verna, I'd love to share Shaklee with you. Is it okay if we meet? And I'd just like to share Shaklee and tell you more about it. And she said, sure. So we met at a restaurant for lunch. And I gave her the Shaklee story. But the first thing I did was after my story, I wanted to ask her some questions. Now, she had told me she was interested in product. But if I only talk to her about product, it's like going to a 5-course dinner, but you only get 2 courses and then they stop. Right? What if they want a dessert and you stopped at entree? What about if you skipped salad? And that's what they really love. So I have learned to not prejudge and in a comfortable way ask a couple of questions and listen, and wow, the results are amazing sometimes. Now in a group setting, I kind of allow my guests there to each share. I always tell myself if I hear my voice too much, the wrong person is talking. There is a slide in the Shaklee Opportunity presentation that really works for me. Maybe you find something else, but it, to me, has been the simplest way to determine what their interest is, in spite of what they might have told me, or in spite of what our initial conversation might have been. And this is the slide. You recognize this? So when I was sitting with Verna, and I shared my Shaklee story, and I always ask permission, Verna, do you mind if I just take a couple of minutes and tell you why I'm here and what Shaklee has meant for me and my family? And of course she said yes. Then I start and I say, Verna, I know you're interested in sports nutrition, but you know, people come to Shaklee for a lot of reasons. And this page just lists some of the reasons. So I make sure we talk about what you want to talk about. Take a look at that. What catches your attention? And then I'm quiet. And so guess what Verna said? She said sports nutrition. And guess what else she said? Money. My husband and I have talked about the fact that it'd be great to have a side business where we could bring in some money. Now, what if I had just gone and said, Verna asked for sports nutrition, and that's what I'm going to talk to her about, and I refuse to ask if there's anything else she wants to put on the table. Now, maybe she wouldn't have put that on the table, but you want to know something, guys? About 80% of people pick money. So then I just ask a simple question, Verna, tell me about that. Now, what amount of money per month would be exciting for you and Reed? You see what I've done there? I've listened, I've asked the question, and over the years, people will then tell me, and they will direct me then in my presentation. I'll definitely talk sports nutrition, but I'm going to talk sports nutrition and money. And I will say to her, Verna, how much money a month, if you don't mind if my asking, would sound exciting? She might say 1,000, she might say 3,000. So then what am I going to do in my presentation? I'm going to carve it out for her. It saves us a lot of time. It saves us a lot of wasted talk that we can sometimes do. We can go on and on and on, and we're missing the mark. So the key point in a presentation, don't miss the mark. Find out what your mark is and target it and hit it. Because when you find an interest, when you find a desire, and you present a possible solution, what happens? Action. If you've missed the mark is here and you've shot way over here someplace, no action. So sometimes you might say, why am I not getting more results through my presentations? You know, again, whether they're online, whether they're on a webinar, whether they're on a phone call, whether they're in a Starbucks, whether they're in a living room, you know, doesn't matter where, but why am I not having more success? When you go home, if this is an area that you think, you know, maybe I could improve that, think back to this today and say, I love this slide, this is one way for you, but just say, how can I engage them in a conversation and not let it be about me and my agenda? It needs to be about them and their agenda. And then you're really waving that magic wand and things really happen. So I hope that principle was important to you, helpful. Now, always tell the whole story. I shared with you why. And when I say always tell the whole story, what I'm really saying to you mostly is make sure you have something about the lifestyle, something about the earnings, something about the money, because that's the most common thing that I see people missing. Would you agree with me? Okay. We have fantastic products. We want to talk about our products. We're passionate about our products. The product movement is what grows our business. But you can tell the whole story, including your business. I just shared with you a few minutes ago, if you remember. You can tell a lot of it through your personal story. You wrap it in. Or personal stories from your team, I'm going to show you in a second, or maybe your upline story, or you can use the Shaklee Opportunity presentation, which happens to be my favorite. I carry my iPad around with me, and it's on there. I'm going to be doing one today at noon, right here in the coffee shop. One of my distributors is here, and she has a distributor here in Nashville. I got my iPad along with me, and we're going to do the presentation, and I'm going to do exactly what I'm telling you that I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing it at noon. So if any of you see me later, you might say, Barb, how'd that work? So there's a lot of ways you can tell it, but here's the second super important point, maybe more important than anything I'm going to say. Why is it so important to always include something about the business? About 6 years ago, I had moved to San Diego in 2000. Really, my business had grown substantially. I had sort of taken a little, I wouldn't say leave, but I was on the Shaklee MEC, and I was moving homes, doing some other things. So it was a period of time when I wasn't working as, you know what I mean, I was managing but not growing. And I was ready to get back to work. So I decided I was going to find some new people. One of the first new people I found was Alexandra. Alexandra. She was excited. She had She had used Shaklee for years, a long time ago, and so she met with me, and I gave her the whole story, and she was interested in products. She was interested in the business. I said, okay, Alexandra, I'm going to help you get started. I'm going to come over, and we're going to do something that we call a grand opening. We got to let everybody know you're in business. I'll come over and do it for you. You invite some people, and we'll start there. So I went over to her home, and she'd done a good job. She had people there. I gave the presentation, and they were excited, and we sponsored people, and they bought products, and she did about 1,000 volume right away that month. It was good. But then she said, I'm out of people, Barb. She got stuck at associate at 1,000. I don't know who else to invite. And I went home and I thought, Barb, shame on you. You know better than that. You didn't include the whole story. You didn't let people know that there's something exciting there for their future. An income and cars and trips and a lifestyle. No wonder you didn't find anybody. And if I didn't find anybody, what? I'm not going to advance the business. If you find yourself stuck, that may be why. So I went to her and I said, Alexandra, I'm so sorry. Joni knows her. I apologize. I knew better than that. I didn't tell the whole story. Could we set up another one and I'm going to come back and do it right? She kind of laughed. She said, sure. I did another one. I did pretty much the same thing, except I talked about how exciting it is, the Shaklee business, the income you can earn, the cars, the trips. And there was a young mom there who sat up in her chair who said, wow, this sounds exactly like something I'd like to do. Bingo. Now we are advancing the business to the next step, right? Because she knows people. She's virgin territory. She hasn't talked to anyone she knows. She'd have the opportunity to set up 2 or 3 events and get some more people there. That's the core and the heart of how we can advance our business and never run out of people. So learn how to do that. If you haven't done that, find a way that works for you. Because when you do, you'll have a list. You'll have the next person who's in their home or around their pool or is willing to set up a webinar. And you can continue, and your business will grow. You will find more business builders. Because business builders, what? Are the most excited about sharing Shaklee with the people they know. They have a real reason to do it. They'll do it right away. And you'll get results, and your business will continue to grow. So we did for Alexandra. We did that when we found this one young mom. So Alexandra then went on, and she advanced to director and continued to grow her business. Does that make sense, guys? That's maybe my second most important point, and I just have a little bit more to say. This is one of the ways I show the income at my events. Especially, I created this for the Shaklee 180. To show my happy financially ever after. And so what I do here is I tell my story, and then I say I'd just like to share some of the benefits that Shaklee has offered that are available to you. Since 2000, Shaklee has paid me about $1.6 million. There's me with my Shaklee car in front of my home in San Diego. Been on some wonderful trips. These are available for you. So if we want to talk about that, if this sounds exciting. And I recently, one of my really good new business builders, Michelle, came from this at a Shaklee 180 event. This is real simple. I laminate it and take it with me to the event and just I do my story, my before and after, and then I do this in the financial happily ever after section. And then I tell stories from my team, just quickly, up there at the top with that beautiful smile with the glasses. Here at Nashville, Brenda McCummins, I might tell her story. She had MS, and she was actually carried to her first Shaklee meeting. She couldn't walk. She learned about the Shaklee products that we're talking about today. She is in good health today. She's completely in remission. And she went on show. She was so excited. She shared them with people. She's now earning about $65,000 a year in her part-time Shaklee business, along with being an RN. And then Julie Aldridge on the top right is a massage therapist. And it's very just easy for her to share the nutrition of Shaklee and talk about it. And she's earning about $800 a month on the side, along with her massage business. So I point out some different things. It's a great thing to do, just to share your team stories. Okay, final point, and I'm done. Closing is a process. I'm just going to tell you a story. About 2 years ago, I got a call from one of my distributors in Oklahoma, and she was upset. She said, "Barb, this is not working. I'm listening to you. I'm presenting Shaklee. I'm presenting the whole story, but nothing." I said, "Well, tell me about it." She said, "Well, I'm actually doing it online. I'm showing the Shaklee Opportunity presentation. You know, I'm asking questions, I'm engaging them, and then I'm getting to the end. I'm showing them the gold $5.99 gold pack. I'm getting to the end, and nothing's happening." And I said, so what are you doing right there at the end?" "Well, I'm just nothing. It's just sort of like silence." And I said, "Well, do you think that everyone who listens to the Shaklee Business Opportunity is going to be ready to pop into the business on that first go round?" Sometimes you get a right plum and they do, but most often they don't. So I shared with her, go to the next step. Ask him if he'd like to learn more information about it, to check it out further, set up your next appointment. I sometimes find I have to meet with 2 or 3 people 2 or 3 times to get them to the point where they're ready to go. So that's another thing. Don't be impatient. Take your time. Give them clear options, but understand that people need a chance to think about it sometimes. So that's the last tip I'm going to give you. So I hope this has been helpful, something you can take home with you that'll help your business grow, and best of luck to all of you. Now, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to bring up an awesome panel of people that are going to just share their best tip about presenting. And Roger's coming up here with them. We have Executive Coordinator Renee Van Heel, who actually happens to be on my team and near me, and Roger and Renee live just a few miles apart. We've got Kara Sears, we've got Brooke Thomas, Suzanne Cheney. Suzanne, you come over here. What we've asked them to do is just each give you 1 or 2 practical things that they use in their presenting that has worked well for them. So Renee, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
We'll go right down here. Let's see.
I'm going to stand. I'm a pacer.
Can I have the slides up here on the screen so I can see? Okay, there we go. There you are, Renee Van Heel. What is the one thing that made you most successful at sharing, maybe Shaklee in general, or in your case, the Shaklee 180 Opportunity?
One of the items that we use, you guys, this is page 7 in your catalog, and we focus on the Shaklee 180 parties. We have found it brings people in front of the Shaklee business as well as other products. I have had people that would never, ever meet with me before, but with the Shaklee 180, they will come, and I start with, and I explain, Shaklee is about healthy weight. That's what you came here to learn about, is how to be healthy and stay healthy. But then we go through all the circles in the sense that we say, but Shaklee is more. We have green cleaning products, we have the health and beauty, and then we have healthy nutrition. And this is where we start to tell our stories. You know, I have my healthy weight story where I'm 61 pounds healthier. My husband has a cholesterol reduction. His cholesterol went down 40 points. Get to know the people that you're doing the presentation for, and take those blue circles and kind of customize the stories into what they're looking for. And we use this for 1 person across the table. We use it for 2, 3 people, and we use it for our large Shaklee 180 parties. Gives them a clear view of what Shaklee does.
Okay, thanks, Renee. And share with us what you do here.
Well, and then we go into the back of the catalog, and we just pick 2 or 3 milestones. We all have our favorite. Do not bore them with more than 3, because you can go on. And remember, this is a presentation about them. It's not about us, and it really isn't about Shaklee. It's about what Shaklee can do for them. So pick the different milestones that work for them, and I encourage you, go through this catalog, highlight what sticks for you. And because every one of us has a different story and different things are going to hit home for us.
What I love here, going back to what should be included in a presentation, there's a lot of it right here, isn't it? I love the product catalog. Okay, so then there's another thing you do at your Shaklee 180 events to maybe address the close portion where I said, don't just expect if they don't do something right now, you just forget about them.
Yes, and this is what we call an interest form, and Jane Peterson from our group put this together. And everybody gets nervous on the close. It's like, what do we say, what do we do? So we have a sign out sheet. Most people, when they have parties, they have people sign in, give name tags. Well, we do this at the end of the presentation, after we've told our business story, after we've told our different stories. And I pass it around, and they all fill it out. It talks about, if you're already on a 180, put a check mark by it, because this is where people are bringing their people to get their 3 for free. And it looks really good as it's passing around if you already have some people on the 180. You know, and then we say, if you're interested in the turnaround, lean and healthy. And we also have on there, interested in other Shaklee products. Our business has grown 30% last year, and a lot of it is not just 180, but other people have added other products because of going through those circles. But the big thing we do with this, we look at it, and before anybody leaves, we make sure we have that next appointment set. Like Barb said, it takes 2 or 3 times. Even for a turnaround, it can take 2 or 3 times. So you want to make sure that people know that you're going to be following up with them. But we have the philosophy in our team, you need to set, you don't leave anybody until you have the next step set.
Great, thank you, Renee. And so your presentation kind of continues. You know, okay, just this one last comment I think you have.
Well, and a big part, because this is all a journey. The business is a journey. Our Shaklee 180 story is a journey. Our lean and healthy is a journey. So we talk to them, this is a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. And, you know, and we also have what we have put together, bring the party to them. What we actually do for people that haven't been able to come to a party, it's the same thing, the follow-up. We will bring the party directly to them. And that's something my son Jake put together, and that has been super, super powerful too. The journey doesn't have to be just in your home. You can bring it to someone else's home. I did that with somebody that couldn't come 4 times. They couldn't show up. Well, I went to her house. Her whole family was there. She brought a neighbor's family there, and her other neighbors brought a neighbor's family there. Yeah. So I had a party of 15 people with just one person bringing the party to them.
Thank you, Renee. Awesome. She's burning it up. Let's give a hand to Renee. Yeah.
Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you. Okay, well, next we have Master Coordinator Suzanne Cheney. Suzanne has an awesome story about presenting. I think some of you will really relate to. So there you are, Suzanne. So why don't you go ahead and share?
Well, my story is a little different, and my team calls me a source of inspiration, so I hope I can be that for some of you folks. Steve and I were 2 shy lab rats when we started with a dream. We had just moved to North Carolina. We didn't know anybody, we had no people skills, we had no communication skills, but we got ourselves outside a box and we found a fishing hole in the Raleigh Organic Gardening Club. So we went there, and we jumped right in, and we got started anyway, even though we were scared to death. We shared the opportunity and the products like they've been talking about when we got somebody that would listen to us, and we identified a business builders, and we weren't good at inviting people to our home, so we got them to invite people to their home. And we started doing nutrition meetings in their homes, and we would talk about, you know, women's nutrition, children's nutrition. And then we decided and realized that we were making ourselves the authority. Since we both had degrees and Steve was a professor at the university, we looked really uncopyable. So we changed our mode of operation and we started getting smarter.
Can I ask you a question here, Suzanne? So it seems like what you're saying is you were shy, which I think many relate to. You jumped in anyway. You began doing wonderful nutrition hours. You did lots of volume, but then you sort of got stuck. You weren't developing business leaders. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay, so then you're telling us what happened next.
Well, then we got wise and we started doing what we called healthy homes. And we shared about the products using people's stories. I think you've heard. It just took us a little while to learn because we didn't have a sales leader. My mom was the sales leader. She was in California, and she was totally different personality than us. Many stories I could tell you, but I won't. And so we started doing these healthy homes, and we got people who became interested, and we learned new ways of approaching people and new ways of talking to people, and we've learned new skills. And I think the biggest part that's made our business successful in teaching others and building a business and getting people to join our team is we worked a lot on ourselves because we had a lot of work to do. So we have new presentation methods now. We ask questions like you've all heard. We've listened for people's needs, and we've given them 3 options to talk about that they can choose. So I'm not telling them what they need to hear. I'm not fire hosing them with all this, that, and the other thing. But I'm talking about what they want to hear about. And that's made all the difference in the world for getting people to say yes and for becoming our friends. We've built relationships. It's a relationship business, so that's what I've worked really hard on. I do a lot of follow-up and building relationships and bringing people along, hearing new needs, and presenting to those needs. We have now grown up to we have new presentation ways. We've learned how to do webinars and conference calls. So we've done a lot to make a difference in how we present to people by developing who we have become. I think that's the big key. So if there's any of you shy guys out there, I have a little thing to tell you. I am the top 10 in the PV for personal PV in the nation.
Wow.
So if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah. Isn't it awesome to see the different personalities, different styles? But you see what happened when Suzanne just tweaked a couple of things? She started listening and presenting the whole story. Those fundamentals will never change, regardless of whatever tools we get, whatever happens in the future. Those are things that I say we need to skill up and get really good at those. And whether you're shy, whether you're loud, whether you're quiet, whatever your personality style, you will succeed, as Suzanne and Steve has. That's awesome, Suzanne.
Yeah, this is my favorite little slide. From Shy Lab Rats with a Dream to Master Coordinators Living the Dream.
That awesome? Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Well, now we're going to hear from Brooke Thomas, and I've had a chance to get to know Brooke. We were down in Barcelona last year, and I'd taken my 2 little granddaughters, and we hooked up with her girls, and we became good buddies. And Brooke has an awesome, unique way of presenting, very successful. She's just done, you're a key coordinator, I think, now, Brooke, right?
I am.
All
Yeah.
right,
Ooh,
that's
thank you.
fantastic. So, Brooke, why don't you share a little bit about your ways of sharing and presenting?
Well, I love to share Shaklee just in my life every day, but I do feel like finding unique ways, but still staying very authentic to who you are is one of the best ways you can share Shaklee. And when I say unique, I mean things like, for example, this summer, I did a poolside chat on women's healthy hot topics. So, just trying to come up with things that I feel, women or, even men sometimes, just different things that are attracting other people in. So everybody that's a woman wants to hear about hot topics in health. So even touching on hormone issues and weight gain and really weaving in Shaklee into, just hot topics. And also just creating videos. I kind of fell into being able to share Shaklee on an NBC affiliate program on a local TV station, but it honestly was just by accident. And I've been able to share Shaklee doing that. And I also try to share that on Facebook, on some of the private Facebook Shaklee pages, if any of you are on those, just to help our whole entire Shaklee family. But really making videos with my children, just everyday life, and trying to weave Shaklee in to reality of, sharing it, with people that they can relate to, how Shaklee works for me. Does that make sense?
In your real life every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what appeals. I've seen you on those videos with your girls in the kitchen,
Yeah.
cooking healthy foods. Great. So here's a little example of your Facebook.
Yes, and so I use my Facebook page to share everything I can think of with Shaklee. And again, I make it a part of my life. So I don't ever really go into my daily life thinking I'm going to sell. I just share all the time. It's just a part of me. So I love Shaklee, and it's a part of my whole family, and it just is very natural for me to constantly talk about it in an organic way. And so I really find that works for me because nobody wants to really sell anything. And so I find that just works, and it works well for everybody. And again, being authentic to who you are and not trying to fit into something that's uncomfortable for you.
And great way of sharing the whole story through her life, through her story. Great example of that. Thank you so much, Brooke. Okay, then our last panelist, we have Kara Sears. Great to have her here, and she also has had a very successful Shaklee experience. Kara, share your best tips for us for presenting.
Okay, thank you. Well, let's face it, this whole conference is the Shaklee effect, which is sharing your story. And I love what Barb said earlier, that people, a lot of times they join because of you. Not necessarily Shaklee or that you have it all together. They join because of you. They see your passion. And for me, a big thing that I've been able to use is social media. Whether you want to admit it or not everyone you know lives in your neighborhood and you can show up at their doorstep. Not everyone you have their immediate access to a phone. There's a lot of people I want to reach out to, but I've lost contact. I don't know what their phone number is. And so I've been able to use Facebook and Twitter and things like that to reach out far beyond my hometown. And, Facebook and Twitter, I know there's some people that love it and use it a lot, and there's some people that are scared of it. You've got everything. But for me, people first and foremost see that I'm a mom. As you can see, my 2 little monkeys are the top of my post. I'm a mom, and I want people to know that. I share my lifestyle of Shaklee through posts on my page. People see us going camping. People see us having fun as a family. And it's not just blasting Shaklee, but it's working it into our everyday life. I don't sell on Facebook. I draw people in. And people see, I like that lifestyle. What is she doing? How is she doing? Working in product posts. I can say, hey, you know what? Today my 2-year-old decided it was a good idea to redecorate our bathroom and color with crayon all over the walls. He's really lucky for Scour Off. And I had moms say, what did you use? Because I've got crayon in my bathroom. But I was not selling Scour Off. I was sharing a not so funny story about what my child did that day. And so people are drawn in by your lifestyle and what you share based on what they just see that you put out there.
I know you've got another slide here.
Yes, and another thing I'll do is share success stories. As you can see, Nate and Jenny are there in the middle, and they had posted something, and I loved it. And so when you see another Shaklee person, Brooke, with her videos that she's doing, it's a great thing to validate. It's a third party to throw out there and say, look what this person is doing. On the far right there is, and I forget her name, but it's one of the girls that was on the Extreme Makeover Weight Loss Edition with Jackie McCoy. But those of you maybe that don't know, they're providing Vitalizer to those contestants. So she had shared and thanked Shaklee for teaming up with them. And so those are the kind of posts that you can share and not feel like you're selling products, but people can relate because, oh yeah, I saw that show and I didn't know that.
Yeah, great. Okay, this I think is the last slide. And
yeah,
then
same basic thing. This is Twitter. So throwing things out there, again, not every post I put is Shaklee because I'm a mom, but weaving it in. So Twitter, you can use all kinds of posts, share things that other people put through the conference. Shaklee Corporation is tweeting things, and so I just keep retweeting it. So it's just sharing your passion.
Great. And you can see then that Kara then moves on to more connection with them after that initial appointment to share more of the story, right, Kara?
Right. It's important that this isn't all I do. It's drawing people in, you're asking questions, and people are asking you questions, but then you're moving it from screen to screen to face to face.
Great.
Because let's face it, people see your passion face to face. So you got to move it from, just here, let me sell you a product to getting in front of them.
Thank you so much, guys. I hope it's been helpful. We've loved having you here. So good luck waving that magic wand. Roger.
Great stuff. Thanks, guys. They're going to head off to another room. We've got another group coming in, like I mentioned earlier, but let's give them another round of applause, okay? Okay, let's not miss the next big event, guys, which is a regional. You guys are familiar with those. We're having 3 of them this year, this coming year. In the eastern region, we're going to be in New York. In the central, it'll be Chicago. And in the western region, we'll be in Orange County, California. Okay? So let's be certain that, you guys can register right here at conference. In fact, we have a package deal where you can register for next year's conference and the regional. So let's be certain that we're there. And I'll tell you what, last year we did 2 in each region. This year we're doing 1 in each region. But there is no reason why you can't get in a car, drive to these things. If you have people or team members that live in those areas, promote them certainly. It's going to be a fantastic regional event, and we encourage you to be there. And of course, we will be coming to your territories as well. And I wanted to touch on how we do that. Okay? There's really 3 buckets, if you will, to how we do it. Okay? First one is the individual things, and these are the things that you are doing. In-home parties, one-on-ones. I've been out to several of those. Several's the wrong word. I've been out to hundreds of those. But those are the things that you're doing on your own, okay? We have a new concept, turnaround party events. They are happening in Orange County at our distribution center. They're happening in Denver, Colorado. They're happening all over the regions. But it's a concept where you get multiple groups together and you put on an event, a turnaround event, like a party, okay? So we call those turnaround party events. Okay, and then we have some corporate sponsored events, which are going to be in April and November. We're going to have regional conferences. We're going to have the January satellite launch. If you guys remember last year, we did a satellite launch. I think it was on January 1st, or maybe we did it January 3rd, a couple of days after the 1st, to give you guys, let you guys enjoy the holiday there. And then, of course, Shackley Live, and that's where we're at now. But we've got one coming in 2014. And where's that at? Long Beach, right? Okay, so I wanted to share with you a little bit about what that event life cycle looks like, okay? One of the things that we have to get very good at is becoming event promoters. We have to be very good at promoting events, okay? I shared with you earlier that when Barb came up, right, that her topic today was share, and that we do 2 things. We share the products and we share the opportunity. Well, there's really a third thing that we do. We promote events. And it has to be ingrained in our DNA. It has to be something that we are doing all the time, promoting events. Okay, and there's certain ways that we do that. The big one that we're at right now, Shackley Live. Okay, it's starting us off. And then in between that, what we want to do regionally is we want to take the Shackley effect, what you guys are having here, and we want to start bringing it to the regions. And we do that through turnaround party events, in-home parties, and one-on-ones. Okay? So we will help take that with you into our regions. Does that make sense? Nobody said yes. Does that make sense? Okay. Guys, if you don't know this yet, okay, I'm very interactive when I talk. And so when I ask for a response, I want a response. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. November, we will be doing the regional conferences. And then between November and the January satellite launch, we're going to be doing in-home parties, turnaround party events. We'll be doing those again. Then we'll do the satellite launch. Okay, you've seen a trend here. And then what we do in between that, again, is the in-home parties, one-on-ones, and we do turnaround party events, and then we hit the regional conference again. Okay? And that cycle continues. So what we wanted to be able to do today is we wanted to share with you kind of the cycle, the Shackley cycle event. So that you guys can look at what we're doing and where we're doing them and what regions that we're doing what, okay? And that you guys will have the ability to become promoters of those events. Create your own events, okay? And what we'll be doing is when you guys are creating some of your own events, we'll promote those events with you. Does that make sense? Okay, very good. Now, how many of you enjoyed the promotions yesterday? Yeah? what we want to be able to do today is we want to be able to review them with you. Okay, and after every hour, they've given me these slides, these same slides to review with you. Okay, I know that'll be different people in here, and from a time constraint standpoint, sometimes I won't be able to review it after each hour. Is that okay? Okay, but we've got time now, so we're going to do it now. We're going to review those promotions. You guys up for it? Who thinks they could get up here and do it? What? There's nobody in the audience comfortable enough to come up here and do it? Come on, guys, they're very simple, okay? That's kind of what we wanted to do is we wanted to create a simple promotion that people could grasp onto and really go after. So what are we doing? We're powering up. The first one is we're powering up with sponsoring, right? And we did two things there. What did we do? We, one, opened up the power bonus to all distributors for the next 90 days. That's pretty cool, isn't it? All right. I mean, I think that's pretty cool, pretty amazing, okay? And then what we also said is let's double it in August, okay? What an opportunity right now to walk away from conference, go share the products and the opportunity with people, and pick up those bonuses. Pretty good, right? Okay, power up with Shaklee 180, okay? This is pretty cool. We've got the turnaround kit and the lean and healthy kit, and basically you have the ability to earn an additional 30 on the turnaround kit, an additional 20 on the lean and healthy. Now, the way that works is the sponsor of that person will receive $15 for a turnaround kit and 10 for a lean and healthy, and the business leader of record will get 15 or 10. It's kind of like a matching bonus. Cool thing about it is if you are that business leader and you are the sponsor, you pick it all up. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, we like that, don't we? Yeah, you can clap for that. It's okay. And then we have power up with directors. Now, I really like this one, okay? The reason I really like it is that, when people get off to a quick start, the chances of them having long-term success is better. It goes up, right? It does, okay? So what we've done is we've said, we want to power up with directors, and we'll put an extra cash bonus out there as well. So the way that it works is we're going to have a $500 bonus for someone who becomes a director in their first full month. Okay, so what does the first full month mean? If I sign up on August 15th, I've got the rest of August, and I've got all of September, because September is my first full month. Okay, does that make sense? Thank you. I appreciate that. And so we've got a $500 bonus, and it starts paying out immediately, $100 each month, okay? And then we've got another incentive in there for executive coordinators. So executive coordinators, as they're building depth and building their organization, we've got a $250 bonus on there when a director, a power-up director happens, okay? So somebody signs up, they become a director in their first full month, and the executive coordinator can earn a $250 bonus. Paid the same way, $50 per month, each month that they're qualified thereafter. Okay? That all makes sense to you guys? Understand? All right, excellent. Okay, so let's show you the graphic that we showed you yesterday, and just a little example, okay, of how this could impact a new person who's coming into the business, okay? Come into the business, we want to do what? Get our products for free. We share the products, don't we? We want to get our products for free. So that happens. The 3 for free happens, okay? Then what happens is you go out and enroll 3 people, okay, into the business, okay? And when you do that, did I need to go back so you guys can take pictures? I know you guys are engaged when I put up slides, and every iPad and phone goes like this. I know that you're taking pictures, okay? So that's good. So I'll leave it up there for another 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got it. Okay, good. All right, so here's the math. Here's how it works, okay? So you sponsor 3 people with any of the gold packs, and you're going to earn a double power bonus of 600 and gold bonuses of 300. Okay, so we're at 900. 3 new customers on turnaround, $45, and you're a power up director. The power up director gets the 100, 12% commissions, that's 180, and 20% at 220. So we're at 1445. So guys, this is when I say let's pull this all together and let's start talking about, I want you guys to think about how to pull these all together. Let's look at this example because I think it's a really good example when you go out and share the products and opportunity with people for new people coming in, someone that can make that money right away. Okay, provide that incentive for them to get off to that fast start. I mean, almost $1,500 in their first 30 days is pretty good, wouldn't you say? I would too. Okay. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick 10-minute break while the other speakers come in and I get them mic'd up, and we're going to start all over again, okay? So when I say a 10-minute break, I literally mean it's going to be a 10-minute break, right? So what does that mean, guys? 10-minute break means what? 10-minute break. So if you need to use the restroom, hop to it, but come back and put butts in seats, okay?